Question 1. The primary purpose of establishing a project governance structure is to A. Define daily project tasks and activities. B. Ensure consistent alignment of the project with organizational objectives, facilitate effective decision-making, and provide oversight. C. Conduct detailed risk assessments and develop mitigation strategies. D. Manage team conflicts and promote team cohesion. Answer: B. Ensure consistent alignment of the project with organizational objectives, facilitate effective decision-making, and provide oversight. The core purpose of project governance is to provide a framework for directing and controlling a project, ensuring it remains aligned with the organization's strategic goals. This involves establishing clear processes for decision-making, accountability, and oversight, which are essential for steering the project effectively from initiation to closure. For example, a project governance board might review key project milestones and authorize phase gates, ensuring the project delivers expected value. Remember, governance is about guiding and overseeing the project at a higher level, not managing the day-to-day work. Question 2. Which of the following best describes the relationship between organizational governance and project governance? A. Project governance operates independently of organizational governance. B. Organizational governance provides the overall framework within which project governance operates. C. Project governance dictates the policies for the entire organization. D. They are interchangeable terms for the same concept. Answer: B. Organizational governance provides the overall framework within which project governance operates. Organizational governance refers to the overarching system by which an organization is directed and controlled, setting the strategic direction, risk appetite, and ethical guidelines. Project governance, on the other hand, is a specific framework applied to individual projects, ensuring they align with the organization's strategic objectives and operate within its established policies. Think of it like this: the organization has a constitution, organizational governance, and each project has its own set of bylaws that must comply with that constitution, project governance. The project governance structure defines the framework for project decision-making, accountability, and oversight, all under the umbrella of organizational governance. Question 3. In the context of project governance, what is an escalation path primarily used for? A. To report project progress to the project team. B. To communicate daily issues to stakeholders. C. To resolve issues or risks that cannot be resolved at a lower level of authority. D. To distribute meeting minutes after a governance board meeting. Answer: C. To resolve issues or risks that cannot be resolved at a lower level of authority. An escalation path within project governance defines the hierarchical route through which issues, risks, or decisions that exceed the authority or capability of the current level, example project manager or team, are elevated for resolution. This structured process ensures that critical roadblocks are brought to the attention of individuals or groups with the necessary power or expertise to address them. For example, if a project manager faces a critical budget cut that jeopardizes the project scope, they would use the established escalation path to bring the issue to the project sponsor or governance board. Having a clear escalation path prevents stagnation and ensures timely resolution of significant challenges. Question 4. When should the project governance structure typically be established? A. During project execution, as issues arise. B. After the project is fully planned and ready for closure. C. At the beginning of the project, often during the initiation phase. D. Only for large, complex projects, not smaller ones. Answer: C. At the beginning of the project, often during the initiation phase. Establishing the project governance structure is a crucial step that occurs early in the project lifecycle, typically during the project initiation phase or early planning. This allows for clear definition of roles, responsibilities, decision-making processes, and oversight mechanisms before significant work begins. Setting up governance at the outset provides the necessary framework for controlling and directing the project effectively from day one. For instance, knowing who has the authority to approve major changes or resolve disputes prevents delays and confusion later on. Early establishment ensures a stable foundation for the project's journey. Question 5. Which role is most likely to be part of a project governance board in a large organization? A. Core project team members. B. Functional managers whose departments are not impacted by the project. C. Project sponsor, senior managers, and key stakeholders. D. External vendors providing minor services. Answer: C. Project sponsor, senior managers, and key stakeholders. A project governance board, sometimes called a steering committee, typically comprises high-level individuals responsible for overseeing the project's strategic direction and ensuring its alignment with organizational objectives. This includes the project sponsor, who champions the project, senior managers from relevant business units, and other key stakeholders who can provide strategic guidance and make high-level decisions. Their involvement ensures the project receives necessary support and operates within strategic parameters. For example, a CEO or a department head impacted by the project might sit on the board to provide oversight and approval for significant project changes. Question 6. How does project governance contribute to decision-making within a project? A. It removes the need for any decision-making by the project manager. B. It provides a structured framework for making informed and timely decisions. C. It dictates all daily operational decisions for the project team. D. It ensures that only one person is responsible for all project decisions. Answer: B. It provides a structured framework for making informed and timely decisions. Project governance defines clear processes, authorities, and responsibilities for decision-making at various levels within the project. This structured approach ensures that decisions are made by the appropriate individuals or groups, based on relevant information, and in alignment with project and organizational objectives. For instance, the governance framework might specify that budget overruns above a certain threshold require approval from the project steering committee, not just the project manager. This clarity avoids confusion, speeds up critical decisions, and ensures accountability, which are vital for project success. Question 7. What is a key characteristic of effective project governance? A. It is rigid and never changes, regardless of project needs. B. It is tailored to the specific needs, size, and complexity of the project. C. It is applied identically across all projects in an organization. D. It relies solely on the project manager for all oversight. Answer: B. It is tailored to the specific needs, size, and complexity of the project. Effective project governance is not a one-size-fits-all solution. It is designed to be adaptable and proportionate to the project's unique characteristics. This tailoring ensures that the governance structure is appropriate, efficient, and provides the right level of oversight without being overly burdensome or insufficient. For example, a small, low-risk project might only require basic governance oversight from the project sponsor, while a large, complex, and high-risk project would need a dedicated governance board with frequent reviews. Customizing governance improves its effectiveness and acceptance. Question 8. In an Agile project environment, how might project governance be adapted compared to a traditional approach? A. Governance is completely absent in Agile projects. B. Governance typically focuses on lightweight, frequent reviews and outcome delivery rather than rigid controls. C. Governance becomes the sole responsibility of the Agile team, with no external oversight. D. Governance demands more detailed upfront planning and documentation than traditional projects. Answer: B. Governance typically focuses on lightweight, frequent reviews and outcome delivery rather than rigid controls. While traditional project governance often emphasizes strict controls, detailed documentation, and phase-gate reviews, Agile governance adapts to support iterative development and rapid feedback. It focuses on ensuring alignment with strategic goals, managing organizational impediments, and overseeing value delivery through lightweight processes like frequent stakeholder reviews, outcome-based metrics, and adaptive planning. For example, an Agile governance body might review product increments and ensure the product backlog aligns with business priorities, rather than scrutinizing detailed work breakdown structures. The goal is to provide enough oversight to ensure value while enabling agility. Question 9. Which of the following documents is most likely to contain information about the project governance framework? A. Work Breakdown Structure, WBS. B. Project Management Plan. C. Stakeholder Register. D. Issue Log. Answer: B. Project Management Plan. The Project Management Plan is the comprehensive document that integrates and consolidates all subsidiary management plans and baselines, providing guidance on how the project will be executed, monitored, controlled, and closed. It is the logical place to define or reference the project governance structure, including roles, responsibilities, decision-making authorities, and reporting lines. While the other documents are important, they focus on specific aspects, work breakdown, stakeholders, issues, rather than the overarching management framework. The project management plan is the central source for how the project will be managed, including its governance. Question 10. What is the role of the project manager regarding the established project governance structure? A. To solely define and implement the entire organizational governance. B. To ignore the governance structure and make all decisions independently. C. To operate within the established governance framework and ensure project compliance. D. To challenge and change the governance structure for every project. Answer: C. To operate within the established governance framework and ensure project compliance. The project manager is responsible for leading the project team and managing the project's day-to-day activities, but they do so within the boundaries and guidelines set by the project governance structure. This means adhering to the established decision-making processes, reporting lines, and escalation paths, and ensuring that the project complies with all relevant policies and procedures. For example, if the governance structure requires quarterly project performance reviews with the steering committee, the project manager is responsible for preparing and presenting those reviews. Operating within governance ensures accountability and alignment. Question 11. How does establishing clear roles and responsibilities contribute to project governance? A. It simplifies the project plan by reducing the number of tasks. B. It minimizes the need for communication among stakeholders. C. It defines who is accountable for what, clarifying decision authority and reporting lines. D. It primarily serves to assign daily operational tasks to team members. Answer: C. It defines who is accountable for what, clarifying decision authority and reporting lines. A fundamental aspect of project governance is the clear definition of roles, responsibilities, and authorities for all parties involved in the project. This clarity ensures that everyone understands their part in the project, who has the power to make specific decisions, and to whom they are accountable. For example, knowing that the project sponsor is accountable for securing major funding or that the Change Control Board is responsible for approving scope changes prevents confusion and delays. Clear roles and responsibilities are the backbone of effective governance, enabling smooth operations and preventing conflicts. Question 12. What is a primary benefit of a well-defined project governance structure for stakeholders? A. It eliminates all project risks. B. It ensures consistent communication and clear channels for involvement and decision-making. C. It removes the need for stakeholder engagement throughout the project. D. It guarantees project success regardless of external factors. Answer: B. It ensures consistent communication and clear channels for involvement and decision-making. A robust project governance structure provides stakeholders with clear channels for participation, communication, and decision-making, ensuring their voices are heard and their interests are represented. It defines how stakeholders will be involved in oversight, approvals, and issue resolution, fostering transparency and trust. For instance, the governance framework might specify regular reports to key stakeholders or establish a stakeholder advisory board. This clarity helps manage expectations and ensures stakeholders are informed and appropriately engaged, which is vital for building support and minimizing resistance. Question 13. What is an example of a governance artifact that helps monitor project health and performance? A. Detailed task list for a work package. B. Project status report presented to the steering committee. C. Individual team member performance review. D. Brainstorming session notes. Answer: B. Project status report presented to the steering committee. A project governance structure relies on specific artifacts to facilitate oversight and decision-making. A project status report, especially one prepared for a governance body like a steering committee or project board, is a classic example. These reports summarize key performance indicators, progress against milestones, risks, and issues, providing the necessary information for governance members to assess project health and make informed strategic decisions. Always think of governance artifacts as tools that help those in oversight roles understand and guide the project. Question 14. How does project governance typically address changes to the project scope, budget, or schedule? A. It allows the project manager to make all changes without review. B. It establishes a formal change control process, often involving a change control board, CCB. C. It ignores changes, as they are part of dynamic project environments. D. It requires external auditors to approve every minor change. Answer: B. It establishes a formal change control process, often involving a change control board, CCB. A core function of project governance is to manage and control changes that could impact the project's baselines, scope, budget, schedule. This is typically achieved by establishing a formal change control process, which dictates how changes are requested, analyzed, approved, or rejected. For significant changes, a change control board, CCB, often composed of key stakeholders and governance members, reviews change requests. This structured approach ensures that all changes are properly evaluated for their impact and aligned with strategic objectives. Question 15. The concept of tailoring project governance implies: A. Applying a generic, fixed governance structure to all projects. B. Adjusting the project governance framework to be appropriate for the specific project's characteristics. C. Ignoring project governance entirely for small projects. D. Outsourcing all governance responsibilities to a third party. Answer: B. Adjusting the project governance framework to be appropriate for the specific project's characteristics. Tailoring project governance means customizing the established governance framework to suit the unique context, size, complexity, and importance of a particular project. It acknowledges that a one-size-fits-all approach is inefficient and often ineffective. For instance, a small, internal project might have a very simple governance structure with direct oversight from a single sponsor, while a multi-million-dollar, cross-organizational initiative would require a more robust, multi-layered governance board and formal processes. Tailoring ensures that the governance framework provides sufficient control without being overly bureaucratic. Question 16. What is the potential consequence of a poorly defined or absent project governance structure? A. Increased team morale and autonomy. B. Reduced project risks and uncertainties. C. Uncontrolled scope creep, delayed decisions, and lack of accountability. D. Faster project completion due to fewer bureaucratic steps. Answer: C. Uncontrolled scope creep, delayed decisions, and lack of accountability. Without a clear project governance structure, projects often suffer from a lack of direction, authority, and control. This can lead to uncontrolled scope changes, scope creep, as there's no defined process for approving modifications, critical decisions being delayed due to unclear responsibilities, and a general lack of accountability for project outcomes. For example, if nobody is clearly designated to approve changes, every stakeholder might try to add features, leading to project failure. A poorly defined governance structure creates chaos and significantly increases the likelihood of project failure. Question 17. Which PMBOK 7th edition performance domain is most directly supported by establishing a robust project governance structure? A. Planning performance domain. B. Project work performance domain. C. Measurement performance domain. D. Governance performance domain. Answer: D. Governance performance domain. The PMBOK 7th edition introduced 8 project performance domains, which are groups of related activities that are critical for the effective delivery of project outcomes. One of these is the governance performance domain, which addresses the function of oversight, control, and coordination of the project by relevant stakeholders. Establishing the project governance structure is the foundational activity that enables effective operation within this domain, ensuring alignment, decision-making, and accountability throughout the project lifecycle. Question 18. In terms of communication, how does project governance typically operate? A. It focuses solely on informal, ad hoc communications. B. It establishes formal communication channels and reporting requirements for oversight. C. It avoids direct communication with the project team. D. It only communicates during project closeout. Answer: B. It establishes formal communication channels and reporting requirements for oversight. Project governance is inherently formal in its operation, setting up clear, structured communication channels to ensure effective oversight and decision-making. This includes defining regular reporting requirements, example status reports, financial updates, from the project team to the governance bodies, and specifying how crucial decisions or escalations will be communicated. For example, a governance board might require monthly progress reports and quarterly strategic reviews from the project manager. These formal channels ensure transparency, accountability, and timely information flow for strategic guidance. Question 19. How does project governance contribute to ensuring compliance within a project? A. By allowing project teams to interpret rules freely. B. By setting policies, procedures, and standards that the project must adhere to. C. By outsourcing all compliance activities to third-party consultants. D. By eliminating the need for any external audits. Answer: B. By setting policies, procedures, and standards that the project must adhere to. Project governance provides the framework for ensuring that the project operates within the organization's policies, procedures, and relevant external regulations or standards. It establishes guidelines and controls to ensure the project adheres to legal, ethical, and organizational requirements, thereby reducing risks and maintaining integrity. For example, the governance structure might mandate that all project contracts adhere to the company's legal review process or that all deliverables meet specific quality standards. This ensures the project stays within acceptable boundaries and meets all necessary requirements. Question 20. What is the primary focus of project governance concerning accountability? A. Assigning blame when things go wrong. B. Ensuring that specific individuals or groups are clearly responsible for actions and outcomes. C. Eliminating the need for any formal responsibility. D. Distributing accountability equally among all project stakeholders. Answer: B. Ensuring that specific individuals or groups are clearly responsible for actions and outcomes. Accountability is a cornerstone of effective project governance. The governance structure defines who is answerable for what, ensuring that every significant decision, action, or outcome has a clear owner. This clarity of responsibility drives performance and prevents situations where tasks or decisions fall through the cracks. For instance, the governance framework might explicitly state that the project sponsor is accountable for securing resources and the project manager for delivering the defined scope. Clear accountability is crucial for driving successful project completion and learning from challenges. Question 21. What is the primary difference between project governance and project management processes? A. They are interchangeable terms for the same concept. B. Project governance focuses on strategic oversight, while project management processes deal with operational execution. C. Project governance is only for agile projects, while processes are for traditional. D. Project governance is defined by the project team, while processes are defined by the sponsor. Answer: B. Project governance focuses on strategic oversight, while project management processes deal with operational execution. Project governance provides the overarching framework, strategic direction, and oversight for the project, ensuring it remains aligned with organizational objectives and delivers expected value. Project management processes, on the other hand, are the specific methodologies, steps, and procedures, example planning, executing, monitoring, controlling, used by the project team to carry out the day-to-day work and deliver the project outputs. Think of it this way: governance sets the rules and provides the strategic direction, while project management processes are the actual plays being run on the field. Question 22. When tailoring project governance, which factor is least likely to influence the complexity of the chosen governance structure? A. Project size and budget. B. Regulatory compliance requirements. C. Organizational culture and existing reporting structures. D. The personal preferences of individual team members. Answer: D. The personal preferences of individual team members. When tailoring project governance, factors such as project size, budget, complexity, risk level, regulatory requirements, and the organization's existing culture and governance framework are crucial considerations. These elements dictate the appropriate level of oversight, formality, and control needed for effective governance. The personal preferences of individual team members, while potentially influencing day-to-day work, are not a primary driver for designing the overall project governance structure, which is a strategic and organizational level decision. Question 23. A project governance structure typically defines the parameters for A. Daily stand-up meeting agendas. B. Strategic direction, decision-making authority, and stakeholder engagement. C. Team-building activities and social events. D. Detailed technical specifications for deliverables. Answer: B. Strategic direction, decision-making authority, and stakeholder engagement. The project governance structure is fundamentally concerned with the higher-level aspects of directing and controlling the project. This includes setting the strategic direction to ensure alignment with organizational goals, establishing clear decision-making authorities for critical approvals, and defining how key stakeholders will be engaged in project oversight. These parameters ensure the project stays on track strategically and receives the necessary guidance and support. Daily operational details or team social activities are not part of the governance framework. Question 24. What is the purpose of regular governance reviews or meetings, such as those held by a steering committee? A. To micromanage the daily tasks of the project team. B. To receive detailed updates, review performance, make strategic decisions, and provide guidance. C. To exclusively discuss budget expenditures and nothing else. D. To resolve interpersonal conflicts within the project team. Answer: B. To receive detailed updates, review performance, make strategic decisions, and provide guidance. Regular governance reviews, often conducted by a steering committee or project board, serve as formal checkpoints where project performance is assessed against strategic objectives. During these meetings, the governance body receives status updates, reviews key metrics, discusses risks and issues, and makes strategic decisions that guide the project forward. For example, they might approve a major scope change, resolve an escalated issue, or authorize the project to move to the next phase. These reviews are vital for maintaining oversight and ensuring the project delivers value. Question 25. How does establishing project governance align with the PMP's emphasis on value delivery? A. It ensures that the project manager works fewer hours. B. It provides a mechanism to ensure the project stays aligned with organizational strategy and delivers intended benefits. C. It focuses solely on minimizing costs, regardless of project outcomes. D. It eliminates the need for any formal planning. Answer: B. It provides a mechanism to ensure the project stays aligned with organizational strategy and delivers intended benefits. PMP, particularly with the PMBOK 7th edition's focus, emphasizes delivering value. Establishing project governance directly supports this by creating a framework that continuously oversees the project's strategic alignment and ensures its outputs contribute to organizational objectives. Governance bodies review progress, make strategic decisions, and manage risks to ensure the project remains on a path to deliver the anticipated business value. For instance, a governance board might decide to pivot a project's direction if market conditions change, ensuring the project continues to deliver relevant value.